Hey everybody, today is the biggest day yet for SurgiFlow AI, and today I wanted to give the first ever full end-to-end walkthrough of SurgiFlow AI and show how this actually works in a real life setting with real clinicians and real patients. And so my goal when I first started building SurgiFlow AI was to reduce complications for patients, reduce readmissions for patients after surgery, and increase adherence when it comes to actually completing the surgical recovery plans. And my goal was also to save hospitals money by reducing the time spent that clinicians spend actually doing manual work and reducing clinician burnout, since this is one of the biggest problems in healthcare in the United States. And so I want to kind of demonstrate how that works today, and just show how all of these portals here are connected and communicate with each other. So that being said, here are the three portals inside of SurgiFlow AI: the patient, clinician, and admin portal. And the admin portal actually consists of two separate portals: the super user admin portal, which is where I log in to onboard hospitals and add tenant admin accounts, which those tenant admins then can log into their own admin portal and onboard clinicians, and those clinicians can then onboard patients. So I want to show how that flow works today. So I'm going to sign in as the super admin user as myself. And before I do that, the tenant admin would usually come in here and select what hospital they belong to before signing on. But since I am a super user, it recognizes my account, and SurgiFlowAI.com. It recognizes my email account, and that tenant option goes away for me. And so now I can, let's see, type in my password, sign in. And so this is the SuperAdmin dashboard. So this is where I have total visibility over every hospital that's in SurgiFlow, every tenant admin that's in SurgiFlow, and every clinician and patient which belongs to those tenants. And so so if we go over here to the tenants, and these AI events down here, these are just from where I've been doing testing. But if I go over here to tenants, you can see right now we have Northside Hospital in there, and so we're going to add a new hospital. We're going to onboard a hospital right now. And so we're going to onboard St. Mary's Hospital. And so you might be wondering, why is it starting at tenant number 10 and not tenant 1 or tenant 2? So once a tenant ID has been used, it can never be used again until the end of time. It is gone for forever. And so I do that for security purposes. So each time a new hospital is onboarded, they're giving a totally unique tenant ID, one that's never been used before. Every time I create a tenant, it's incremented by 1. So that's how that works. So once I create the St. Mary's Hospital, it's in there. And so now since we've onboarded the hospital, now we can onboard the tenant admins that belong to that hospital, so they can onboard clinicians. So now we're going to create a tenant admin. So as you can see, here's me. I'm the global tenant, so I don't belong to a hospital. And here's just a test tenant admin one I've already created. But we are going to create a tenant admin number 2. And we are going to assign this tenant admin to the new hospital, the new tenant that we just created. Awesome, so now we have a tenant admin 2. So now since that's created, we can actually sign in as that tenant. So we go back to the admin portal, tenant admin number 2. We select our new hospital, St. Mary's Hospital, that's been onboarded, and we type in the password and we sign in. So here's the actual tenant admin dashboard, and this is where hospital admins will actually come in, and they have total oversight over every clinician in the platform that's in SurgiFlow, every patient that's in SurgiFlow, every recovery plan that's been generated in SurgiFlow, every AI session that's been made. So yeah, we can come over here to clinicians, and right now there's no clinicians currently, so we're going to make one. We're going to make Dr. Jane Doe. And we just do jdoe@test.com. Put test as the password, save. Awesome. So now we have a clinician saved under this new tenant, the first clinician. And so so yeah, so if we go down here, we can go to the analytics suite. eventually all of these, after the platform starts getting used by this new by members of this new tenant, these values will populate. So yeah, we'll come back in here in a minute and we'll go back over this. But if I log out, I can now sign in as the new clinician. So jdoe at test.com, test, choose the new hospital, and now we're signed in as that clinician for that tenant. And so now I can go in here, we can add a new patient now under that clinician. And so I'm going to add myself, Jared Strickland. Email, we can just do js at test.com. Date of birth, just make something up. Surgery type, spinal fusion, because I've had a couple of spinal fusions now. And so I actually added time zones as well. So whenever a recovery plan is generated, the tasks for each day rotate every 24 hours. So they rotate at midnight every single night. And so that's why I added time zones, because midnight varies per time zone. So I'm going to choose Eastern time zone, which means whenever I create a plan, the tasks per day will change at midnight. And so I'm going to sign. So now I've been created. I'm in the system. I'm assigned to Dr. Jane Doe. And so now I can actually sign out, and so cool. So I've been onboarded, and now I can sign into my patient account. js at test.com. Last name, date of birth, and I belong to St. Mary's Hospital. And so this would be sent as a text message. This is just for dev mode. This won't show up in production like that, but we can sign in. And since my previous demos, I've actually added this section right here. So right now this isn't sending like alerts to anybody, but it could. I could wire it up to send alerts to the clinical team, or even like emergency services or something like that. But right now the patient can just go in and log a problem, and this data will be sent to our backend. It will be sent into the Cosmos database, where it will be logged, and so this will keep track of complications and things that happen, that go wrong over time with the patient, if anything goes wrong. But yeah, so we can actually go in and we can start having a chat with the AI assistant, and making that recovery plan that we're going to be sending to the clinician. So this is all patient side. These are all patient side tasks right here. This isn't costing the clinician any time yet. So we go in and we can just say, I can say, can you help me plan for my upcoming spinal fusion surgery? Awesome. Yes, I can help you organize your recovery plan for your upcoming spinal fusion. So what spine region is asking me a couple questions, so we're going to answer those questions. So we're just going to say full lumbar / thoracic fusion, no surgery date yet, main concerns are pain / mobility, and I will have support at home. And so I'm about to go ahead and summarize this, just so I don't drag the time out. But as you can see, it'll keep on walking you through, tell you what it understands, and good next step would be drafting a short note for the clinician, such as. So it's already actually telling me to create the summary, which I'm going to do now. Because once it figures out what type of operation you're having, it can go ahead and create the plan. And I mean, you could keep on having a conversation with it about any other concerns that we have, but just to make this a time efficient demo, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and send it over to the clinician. So after the patient sends this summary to the clinician, it takes up to 3 minutes, because this is generating the 30-day plan right now in the background, which is a 3,000 line JSON document, which is being stored in Cosmos database. So it takes it a minute, but again, this isn't costing the clinician any time. This is a patient side task. So I'm actually gonna I'm gonna fast forward the video so we're not waiting here for 3 minutes, and once it completes, we can continue. Alright, so we summarized our conversation, right, and we sent it to the clinician, and after it generates the plan and sends it, we get this successful message up here. So we click OK, and it's done. So we can come out and we can go into the clinician collaboration portal, and we can see where the summary was successfully sent to the clinician. And so we can write other messages down here to send to the clinician. But for now, we're just going to sign back out, and we're going to log back in as if we are the clinician, Dr. Jane Doe. And we go into the collaborate, and there it is. And so this is the part that's really mind-blowing about SurgiFlow AI. This is what makes SurgiFlow AI stand out. This is why it saves clinicians time, because once this summary is sent, we simply click on it. And here we have the full 30-day plan already filled out. So yeah, this is just the 7-day plan, and then 30-day plan is right here. And so the clinician, this requires full clinician oversight, right? We aren't a medical device; we're a clinical support tool. So the clinician has to review this, and they can edit it. They can edit any task on any day of any of the 30 days. This can be saved. The plan can be rejected, but we're just going to approve this plan. And now we can go out and we can go into my profile, and we can see that we have the full 7-day plan, the full 30-day plan right here, and restrictions and warning signs. We can log emergency department visits here if the patient has to go in. We can log a readmission. We can log complications. And so yeah, that's how we collect the data to reveal patterns when it comes to complications from different types of surgeries. So yeah, we're gonna sign back out now though, and we're gonna actually sign back in as that Tenant Admin number 2 with St. Mary's. And so now we can see we have one clinician in the system, one patient, one plan was created, and we have 9 AI sessions. So really we only have one AI session, but this calculates basically every time a summary is sent, every time a new chat session in the AI is initiated. It keeps track of more than just one conversation thread. It keeps track of messages sent in the collaboration portal. So that's why there's 9. But yeah, we can go and we can see here's the patient, which is there. That's the new patient. AI sessions. So we go in here, and so this keeps track of everything: the 30-day generation, the chat completion, the summary generation. But this top one is the one that matters. I mean, they all matter, but this shows the procedure. This shows that we approved it. And this was the plan before we approved it, and then we approved it at 5:33 a.m. There's the date. That's today's date. We have the clinician ID, the patient ID. We see that correlation there, and we can go into the analytics suite, and now we see that these fields are now populated, right? And so so you might be wondering, how have we already saved 29 minutes? Well, when we were reviewing the plan, the 30-day plan as the clinician, while you're inside of that section as the clinician, it is keeping track of time, right? And so we have a default value of saying that if the clinician were to manually create that plan, it would take at least 30 minutes, right? So we spent less than 1 minute reviewing it, and so it subtracted that time from 30 minutes, which is the average that it would take a clinician to do it manually. So that's how we keep track of the time. And you might also be wondering, how have we already avoided complications? How has an emergency department visit been prevented? How have readmissions already been prevented? That's because we haven't logged a complication or a visit yet. So until a complication or visit is logged, we assume that the patient is recovering successfully. And so that's why these metrics are here already. And we accepted all 162 tasks of that 30-day plan. And so if we were to have rejected any of them or edited any of those tasks, it would have showed up here. And so yeah, that's how we keep track of that. Both of these should say one daily active clinicians. There's both a daily active patient and a clinician, so I'll have to fix that, but that's okay for now. So yeah, we can go up here, the clinical outcomes section. We can see that so far we have one patient who hasn't had any complications or readmissions yet. So this is going to be a line graph as the days go on, and as more patients are added to this tenant admin. And then I made a post a couple weeks ago explaining the math behind this, all of these metrics right here. So yeah, I'm not going to get into that again right now. And then we have time saved per clinician, AI acceptance rate per clinician, and this big long number right here, that's the clinician ID. It should honestly say the doctor's name, so I'm going to be changing that. But just for right now, this is fine. And then procedure analytics. We said that I'm having a spinal fusion, so I haven't had any complications yet. So one complication avoided so far, and 29.38 minutes saved for my procedure in particular. So yeah. So I guess I can show you guys one more thing before we wrap up. So if I go back into here into my patient account, we can now view that plan, right? So we can see all first 7-day plan, and then the 30-day plan, and then these are our daily tasks, right? So we're gonna go ahead and check all of those off, and when we do that, and we go back to the clinician, Dr. Jane Doe, and we sign in, and we go to the progress page. We can see that I have now today completed 5 out of 5 tasks. I'm 3% done. I've completed 5 out of 127 tasks over the 30 days. And so we can see that here. When it was last updated, we keep track of the whole entire process to make sure that the patient is adhering to the plan. And so we can actually scroll down. And so say the I don't know, say the patient is on day 3, and I don't know, they miss a day or something, whatever, something happens, and the plan needs to be reverted by a day or fast forwarded by a day. That could be overridden here. And then you can also reset the progress as well if there's some type of mistake or something. But yeah, I think that's about it for this demo, though. I mean, that's it. Yeah, this is the pilot. It's pilot ready, so yeah, I'm really excited about seeing how this turns out in a real clinical setting, and actually collecting some real data, and proving that this is actually going to do what I'm saying it's going to do, and reduce complications for patients, improve recovery, and save hospitals and surgical practices money. And so I'm really excited about this, and I hope everybody enjoyed the demo. Thank you for watching.